Croeso sianel Blaid Llwyd. Welcome back to Distant Travels and welcome back to the Firefly. Now, in the last episode, Axel decided to help communicate with the Endless White, and we learned a bit about Mike's history. So let's see what we find out in this episode. As the night falls, you return to your room and prepare for the night. It does not take long for you to fall asleep. The next morning you awake from a knock on your door. Who would knock? Doesn't everyone just text? Another insistent knock on the door. Whoever's knocking is not letting you not answer. Hello? Axel, wake up, you're going to miss it. As you open the door, Max walks into your room. Oh, you're up already, heck yeah. You're energetic this morning. What's up? Also, a nice fit. You nod to his clothes, but it seems he's too excited to care. It's my vacation day. Notice you're not booked at all, so I checked and you can come with. Slow down. Vacation? Like a day off? You call it. I don't really need one, and with the party I'm planning. You've been on a spaceship for longer than you think. It's been almost 2 months. Really? Yeah. And Axel. He fixates you with a serious look. This is something you have to experience before we land on Arctos. I'm guessing this is another... You look for the word, unable to define the exact scenario. It's something uniquely Max when he wants to show you things like this. Thing? It's the full effect of the recreation room. Straight up high-level sense-altering reality. Don't think I have anything on the same level on Earth. He pauses and relaxes. Quite a rare thing for him. As I said, you need a vacation more than you think. We're actually last on the list this trip. Almost everyone else has had their day off already. Almost. Charles, Frank, Sean and Mike are on the list as well. Frank never takes his spot though. Always says he's busy. Maybe it's just not his thing. He seemed happy enough to be at the party. Mayhaps. Anyhow, it's beach day today. That doesn't sound too bad. It's goated as far as options go. The sci-fi one is so stiff. You coming along, right? How can you say no to that face? I think... Yeah, all right. Bet. He seems so excited. Guess he doesn't get to hang around with many people in the 30 while on the Firefly. It's obvious. So, where to? Not like that, you're not. He phrases it with an incredulous tone, pure doubt of what you just said. Get a swimsuit and bring a towel. All right, chill. Just, wait outside, I'll be just a minute. Good, don't underestimate how rare this is. As excited as usual. Yes, sir. He exits the room with a satisfied smile. All right. I think I packed a pair of swim trunks. You quickly search through your bags and do indeed find a pair of rainbow-coloured swim trunks. Not the time to be prideful, I guess. Some I doubt it matters, though. They wouldn't care. You change into the swim trunks and grab a towel from the small bathroom in your cabin. As you exit your cabin, you feel a slight chill from the cool, ventilated air. You hang your towel over your shoulder to warm up a little. Nice fit. He nods to your swim trunks. Seems like he was listening earlier after all. Thanks. Glad he doesn't know what they're supposed to signal. Not even sure why I own these, less so why I brought them. Shouldn't be ashamed though, that's for sure. Not with this crowd. Not with any crowd, you weak-minded fool. With that said, Max leads you down a corridor towards the recreation room. Stopping short just before, he leads you towards a locked door on the side. There's a screen panel next to the door. Max puts his hand to the panel and the door opens. He steps inside and almost comically waves you in with his hand through the door. You look around and enter. The door shuts behind you instantly and disappears. What the fuck? Told you, we're on vacation. That's worrisome. It's all up when vacation's over. It'll be fun. Did you just kidnap me? He ignores you. Well, I guess it's fine. I doubt he actually would lock me in somewhere. Yeah, it's way to adventure. You proceed to walk further into the room you found yourself in. It's a large room looking quite like an airport gate to the Mediterranean island. Just like when we landed in an airport back on Earth. Just like an Arctos as well. Quite cool, right? I know pack bags though, but we're not staying that long, are we? I'll have you home and safe in bed by 10. He gives you a mock salute. So, what's the plan there? Do we just chill? Swimming, of course. It's Zero G. The air is so enhanced it feels like swimming in cool water. Something being a little better than the cargo room skinny dipping. With what almost seems like planned timing, Sean and Mike enter the terminal in beach outfits of their own. True to Max's word, Frank is nowhere to be seen. Neither is Charles. Hi there. I was kidnapped and made to come here. As long as it wasn't against your will. It's definitely within my will. I shouldn't expect the door to disappear. You can make a reappear at any time. Just use your navigator. You look over to Max, who looks a little sheepish. Should have thought of the other people here before you told me he was gone until vacation was over. You're not going to leave, are you? He looks a little worried. I wasn't planning on it. Good. As fun as it is to go swimming with just Sean and I, it'll be way more fun if you're there as well. I'm not sure I'll do a lot of swimming. I'll take a dip. Are you a strong swimmer? I used to be, but I haven't gone swimming in years. Well, you can't drown even if you go upside down in the water. It can be quite disorienting. I've done a little zero-G swimming before. That should be fine. Max raises an eyebrow. You have? Yeah, for fun, in the cargo room. No AR. Huh. Mike looks at you with a mischievous grin before smiling his usual smile. This will be much more realistic. It'll feel like actual water. I'll be on the beach taking it slow. Not enough working out for this week. Or I'll be close to helping get you into trouble swimming. Max looks at him like he's about to chastise him, just as he would John when he steps out of line. But doesn't say anything. I'll be in the water as well. It'll be fine. They worry too much. It's quite cute how they all worry about you, really. Mike motions towards your swim trunks with his hand. Oh, nice swim trunks. Very colourful. Thanks. They're not my usual fit, but I got them at a Pride Parade a few years back. First one I ever went to. Oh, a Pride Parade? He asked the question in confusion, raising an eyebrow. Oh right, you probably don't have those on Arctos. It's a parade for people who aren't straight. Show that you're proud of being gay or bi or the like. You have to be extra proud of being you. Ah, Max. Earth has had some issues with human rights historically. I didn't realize things were rough enough to require political action. Things have been quite bad if you go back a little bit. I'd say the last 20 or so years have been a steady road to better things. So what are your shorts showing that you're proud of? Being gay? I guess. The rainbow is more non-specific. There's the gay men flag, but it's different. Speaking of flags and representing, you can't help but notice his choice of outfit almost looks like one. Speaking of, your outfit reminds me of the transgender flag. It's the same colours almost, like blue, pink and white. Oh. Does that mean if I wore this at a parade like that, it'd be like showing that I'd be transgender? Or that you're supporting transgender people's rights? Well, I like that. Then I better make sure I get some attention, so I can support everyone's rights properly. He unbuttons his shirt with a chuckle. Then as he catches you looking, he adjusts it so it shows even more of his pecs. Well, does that work? He flexes his chest a little as he asks the question, then lets out a soft chuckle. Definitely. Rather, I can't say as I'm not trans, but you'll definitely pull some attention. Well, helps with the heat, too. It is getting warm. I knew I thought the Firefly was always a little chilly. Well, so most people have a bit of fur. Unfortunate for those who don't, however. It's usually not bad, so I wasn't ever expecting to walk around the ship without a shirt. It'll be quite warm in here. Most things aren't real, but the heat is real. So remember to drink water and to take breaks. Alright, enough flirting. It's time to go swimming. Max puts his hands on your shoulders from behind and starts almost pushing you out to the terminal building. And off he goes. I don't think I've ever seen Max as determined to be friends with someone as he has with Axel. The two of them fall in line behind you, walking at a slower pace. Max lets go of your shoulders as he satisfies with your walking speed. Just wait to the beach. He didn't have to tell you. The resort itself is quite small and it's less than a minute walking distance to the beach. The ocean is calm and you can smell the ocean breeze as the wind softly blows across your skin. The only thing keeping this from feeling like a real vacation is the lack of people. I've heard you just think of his vacation to Oriental Island paradise. We should dive in from the dock, even if after just a couple of meters. Max drops his towel on the dock and runs out on it, leaping into the water with a cannonball splash. I'll be a little slower than you. As you put your towel down the dock and walk to the edge, Mike and Sean catch up to you. Sean chucks his shirt and pulls his shorts down to reveal a Speedo, then immediately runs out to the dock and jumps in the water just like Max did. The water splashes up and hits your legs. Oh, it's colder than I expected. Mike walks up to you, slowly taking off his shirt. Oh, not feeling it? I'll go in soon, just feeling out the water first. I thought you weren't going to swim. You ask, not into his shirt that he's now taken off and placed a little further in on the dock, save for any potential water splashing. Seemingly, he's also had time to change his shorts into a pair more suitable for swimming. I'll just be going for a quick dip to cool off. Ready to hop in? Almost. I need a boost? What? He gets a mischievous glint in his eyes. He grabs you and lifts you up, holding you above his head like you weigh half as much as you actually do. Hey! You can't help but laugh. The fur in his arms tickles you as he holds you above his head. Incoming! He waits a little bit, looking up and making sure you take a deep breath while leaping into the water with you still in his arms. As he jumps, he throws you further out into the water as he's mid-leap. It's strange. You land in the water and it's just like real water. You're wet and it's still colder than you prefer. You accidentally take a small breath too early, fully expecting to get a mouthful of water. However, instead of sputtering and having to get up and catch your breath, you manage to breathe just fine. Almost like a hiccup. I wonder if I could speak underwater. You try, but no words seem to come out. Instead, it's just a blurb of watery sounds. That's freaky. You spot Max in the water, pointing upwards with a smile on his face. You swim up and reach the surface of the calm water. You're doing too far, Mac. You've got the way up. I'm not so sure. He's as calm as always. Well, it seems fine to me. He doesn't seem to think I'm all that vulnerable anymore. Still, he seems cautious, gauging your reaction to see if he messed up or not. Are you alright? I was just experimenting with talking underwater, I guess. Sean floats by, seemingly keeping his head over water at all costs. A little odd considering you can breathe underwater. Perhaps he just wants to keep his head right. Any results? It looks like words don't come through. They probably do in reality. just that nobody will perceive it due to the AR. I must have been looking pretty silly in reality. Huh, we all are. Swimming around close to each other, speaking quite loudly compared to how close we actually are. We're closer to each other than it seems. Well, that's how the AR works. We wouldn't have all the space for this on the Firefly. It's about a 10-to-1 ratio in how our perception changes in regards to space here. Don't think too hard about it. Your mind flashes back to the cloaking device he used back on Earth, and how you're able to tell he was a bear despite the device, after you were made aware of it. Definitely taking that piece of advice to heart. Mike leans back into a backstroke before stopping and floating on his back, looking up into the clouds. Oh, this is nice. Why do you think I'll go back and relax on the beach a little? As he starts a backstroke towards the beach, you see your opportunity for revenge. With a smirk, you dive down into the water. He's close by and you swim under him with ease. Not having to worry about air is quite the boon when it comes to things like this. You grab him by the leg and pull downwards. He loses his floating pose and flings his arms as you pull him down with surprising ease. It is 0G after all. As he catches himself and sees you, he smiles and swims towards you with intent in his eyes. You try to swim away, but he's much faster and catches up to you in just a few seconds. He grabs you by the foot and pulls you down easily, despite you swimming against the force. However, he doesn't push you down, instead pulls you towards him, grabbing you in a bear hug. He moves one of his hands to the back of your face and says something, the words obviously not coming through. Then he catches himself and instead moves his face to yours and kisses you lightly on the lips. Nice. The look on his face seems to say that he thinks the same. This seems to be what he meant with being more playful and physical. Now, you could take things further in that regard, if you want to, that is. Nobody else is underwater, he just kissed you. He's not the only one who's going to go for what he wants. As he holds you under the water and looks into your eyes, your hands reach for his chest. His chest hair, or fur rather, is soft and well groomed. Underneath lies the mix of well-trained muscle and mass that only that muscle-gut type of body can get you. You start by running your hands through the hair on his chest, softly tracing the mass of his pecs. At first he almost seems a little surprised. After just a moment he responds by holding you more loosely. He's purposely leaving some space between the two of you, so to let your hands explore as you wish. This definitely isn't anything like the previous skinny dipping. It feels a little like a break in the moment and far more intimate. Not only does he confirm his previous consent, his smile is encouraging you to explore as you want, and his eyes betray a wish to explore you as well. You bring your hand up slowly upwards, softly touching his neck. His eyes are focused on yours as you move. As you lift your hand and land on the side of his beard, he pulls back. However, upon realizing what you're doing, his expression softens in understanding, letting you continue your exploration. His beard is soft at the edges, a little coarser towards the chin. It's clear he takes good care of it, keeping it almost as a part of his personality. His eyes now follow your hand rather than your eyes, and he leans into your touch as you move from his beard to the side of his face. He's enjoying this. You trail your hand up towards his temple and across one of his eyebrows. He remains steady, with a curious expression on his face. Perhaps he's thinking much the same things you are, considering your differences. On the inside you're similar, incredibly so it seems. Still, on the outside, you are so very different. You move onto his ears, they reflexively move away from your first touch. He leans his head down, however, allowing you easier access as he keeps them in place. They're as soft as you thought they were. You can't help but scratch him behind the ears, and his entire body rumbles. As you move on, he raises his head again. You can't help but notice a slight flushed look on his face. He leans further down towards you, ends up resting his forehead against yours. You close your eyes, just feeling his closeness. could read thoughts, this moment would be the time to do it, wouldn't it? You remain like that for a little bit, just enjoying each other's closeness. That said, you've been underwater for too long now. He seems to notice the same. As he lets you go, he pushes you up towards the surface. Making sure his hands leave the final playful smack of your ear, giving you the final boost up towards the surface. I guess he has parts of my body he's interested in as well. The smile never leaving his face, even as you watch him breach the surface moments behind you. Alright, I deserve that one. You did. Did you two rest underwater or something? Something like that. I dragged him quite far down. It's easy when you're able to breathe underwater. Unless I'm doing actual water, that could be dangerous. Yeah, of course. No, I'll go get some rest on dry land. Unless you want to drag me underwater again. I think I've had my fun for now. Alright. Mike then begins swimming back to shore. You all have fun and don't forget to rest at all today. Vacation days are for rebuilding energy after all. He ends up resting on the deck chair further up the beach. One cast the rest is all back. Unk? The boomer. That's not quite right. Close enough. Not really, but I'm not about to tell him that again. What's that? Unk? Short for uncle. Slang for people who act older than their age, I think. Sean turns to Max. Have you considered going into communications instead of navigation? I'm an excellent navigator. You seem to be an excellent communicator as well, mister. But, do you think I'm a good communicator, Axel? Yeah. You pick up hints about the culture quite fast. Actually, that's just an understatement. You pick things up way too fast. His eye glints with happiness as you say it. You also seem to be enjoying it a ton, so why not? Could get really good at it if you stick to it. And any worlds we'll find in the future needs communicating. Your thoughts say there might not be so many, but it seems exciting nonetheless. There'll be a ton of interesting ones, just like Earth. I wonder how long it'll be until we find another world. Earth was found much sooner than we expected to find another world after the first one. He remains airborne. I wonder why he's not saying the name. Maybe he doesn't know, or just doesn't want to. You flip over and start floating on your back, closing your eyes and just enjoying the feel of the heat from the sun, the chill of the water for a moment. Both Max and Sean follow suit, floating alongside you. It feels so real, dreamy. I almost feel like I should use sunscreen. I won't get sunburned, right? Well, you are starting to look a little crispy. Wait, really? You flip back over and start looking at your shoulders and arms. However, you seem just fine. I should have known. That would have been too weird. Max snickers a little, still floating with his face turned towards you. Alright, I see what you're doing. Without hesitation, you start splashing water on the both of them. What proceeds is an almost hour-long session of trying to catch each other, dragging one another under the water and smashing each other as a deterrent. It's more exhausting than most workouts. As you are out of energy one after another, you decide to call the swimming off for now. You all get out of the water, taking some time to dry yourselves off with your towels. The three of you meet Charles on the wooden walkway next to the beach. Good afternoon. Did you enjoy your swim? It was awesome. Axel is super slippery. I'm exhausted. It was fun, but very chaotic. Well, I think Max won in the end. He raises an eyebrow as if wondering what the contest you had was, but he doesn't ask. So what's up, Doc? Are you just vibing? I was just about to go grab some cold boba tea. Then I'll just sit in the shade up by the terminal for a bit. You're welcome to join me. Oh, sounds nice. I need to cool down. Sean ended up being the most winded out of all of you. You and Max ended up teaming up against him in the end. Are you making a tea yourself? Well, I prepped it this morning. Can I have some?
Of course, I made enough for everyone.
Oh, where's Mike, by the way?
Oh, he went out for a little bit, but he'll be back. Or will you be joining us?
Thanks for the offer, but I like to hang out with Mike a bit, so I'll wait for him. I'll save some tea for you.
Thanks, but it's alright. Wish I'd have time to drink it anyway. I can always make more, or make some another day.
Oh, can you make some tomorrow as well?
I don't see why not. Guess grass, perhaps?
Nice. See you later, Axel. Get boba before Sean. That sounds sweet. Like sugar?
Max starts describing boba tea as the three of them walk up towards the terminal.
Now, where to wait?
You look around and notice his towel laying on one of the deck chairs further away. You make your way over.
All right, here should be good.
You sit down on one of the deck chairs and notice it reclines.
Oh, nice.
You lean back and lie down instead. The sun warms you up, but not unpleasantly so. There's a slight breeze from the ocean as well.
I could fall asleep like this. It's been a long time since I had nothing on my mind. Thinking about it, I didn't take a vacation last year either. Maybe I can vacation on Arctos? What a crazy thought.
Not that crazy if you think about it. Arctos isn't that different from Earth. When the world isn't ending, that is.
Ah!
You suddenly stirred from your thoughts as something ice cold touches your leg. Thought I'd pay you back for before. Just a little. Plus, you looked a little overheated.
Is that even possible with a fake sun?
Well, not really. It's quite as warm as it seems.
He extends a hand holding the popsicle he used to break you out for your thoughts.
I can offer the most handsome man on the beach one of these, even so.
And then you could get ice cream like that on the Firefly.
You take the popsicle from his extended hand and examine the wrapper.
Cool Starry Dream? What kind of flavour is that?
Well, it's a mix of raspberry and grape.
Mike unwraps the wrapper from his own popsicle before tasting it.
You'll like it. It's a summer classic.
It's from Arctos.
I brought some for the trip. A guilty pleasure.
He says, looking almost a little sheepish. You can't help but smile. I'll have to try it then, since you're so graciously parting with your goods. You'd move the wrapper from your own popsicle and give it a lick. It's sweet, much like the grape juice from before. However, it's also very light and the raspberry takes the lead. That's refreshing.
How's it taste, compared to the stuff on Earth?
It's like really good raspberry ice cream from Earth and then just something a little extra.
To be honest, I regret not taking time to try more of Earth's pleasure during my time there.
So what was the quantum entanglement? Couldn't Earth technically teleport to Arctos where we're all set up?
Well, that's a good idea. I wonder if it would be the same, if it'd be real, so to say.
If it looks like a duck and tastes like a duck. He looks at you, confused by what you mean, but not mentioning it. It's the same. If it looks like ice cream from Earth and tastes like ice cream from Earth, what's the difference?
Now that's one for the real philosophers. You and me, that is.
I could always try and let you know if it tastes like the real thing. But to be philosophical, it'd be a little bit like a vacation, I think. It's nice and real enough to get me to relax and almost doze off.
But
it's not exactly the real thing, because I know that it just feels a little different. Like sleeping in your own bed. Always beats sleeping away, even if it's a really fancy place.
Have you been having trouble sleeping on the ship?
He asks, seeming concerned. No, that's not what I meant. I've slept well enough. But there's no bed like my own, at least for me. It just feels safer somehow. He relaxes.
I understand what you mean. For me, it'd be sleeping in the same bed as someone I... Well, you get the picture.
He sits down in the deck chair next to yours and leans back.
This is pretty nice, isn't it? I've been thinking about something today.
Yeah?
Well, your shorts.
Yeah?
You look down, get an instant reminder of the rainbow pattern. Oh right, the pride thing. I guess it's a human rights thing. Its entire thing's centered around parades and the like to get attention to the issue. Which is human rights? Right. To simplify it greatly, my shorts are the rainbow flag. It's used as a symbol of inclusion and acceptance for people of all sexual orientation and gender identities. In reality, it's mostly worn by people like that. People like me. Well, I'm not sure I follow. If it's a flag for everyone... Right, I'm gay. You're surprised by how easily it slinks out. It's mostly worn by people who aren't heterosexual. I get it now. I forget that heterosexuals are in the majority on Earth, unlike on Arctos, where the majority would be counted as bisexual. Charles even made awareness of that a criteria of the recruitment that ended up with you in joining us. That's one way of putting it. That question about sexual orientation would have landed most companies on Earth in trouble, because of issues like the ones which make the rainbow flag an important symbol. Well, that would have been unfortunate. I'm glad you applied even after seeing our mistake there. I'll have to educate myself so I don't seem bigoted on Earth. Maybe I should get some shorts myself. Well, you're already wearing the transgender colours. Unintentionally. I'll make sure to make it intentional next time, and perhaps bring a flag as well. That'd be an interesting thing to see on Earth. Aliens are real, and they support trans rights. Could it be true? For you, at least. I think Arctonians would surprise you there. It's fairly common in Arctos to see people who are born into a gender they don't identify with change into who they are. As well as to see people who don't identify with any gender. I think most people would be angry, not just offended, if someone told them their friends and family didn't deserve the same rights as everyone else. Especially if it's because of something like their identity. You flip over in the chair you're laying on your stomach so you can look at him. Aliens for trans rights it is. I like that. He chuckles. Happy to please. Now we're swimming with Max and Sean. Fun but exhausting. My entire body is all worn out. He chuckles softly again. That's why I stayed away this time. There's been enough long days recently. You got a short swim in at least. Mike sits up in his deck chair, putting his legs down the side and leans towards you. So, about what happened in the water? I hope I didn't do anything that wasn't alright. I apologise if I did. I didn't mean to. Oh, I liked it. I enjoyed you being playful and exploring what you wanted. The company above the surface was just not completely right to go further, right then. He says it quite flatly. I was actually thinking I want to do the same to you. Oh, does he mean he wants to touch me? Like that? Do you want a massage? Heh, that sounds really good right now. You lie down properly, leaving him access to your back. He gets up and moves over to you, standing on his knees next to the chair to get a proper reach. Is this good? He looks over your body with an appraising gaze. Well, it looks good to me. You close your eyes as you feel him rest his left hand on your shoulder. His right hand trails down your shoulder blade and across your back, gently feeling the muscles along the way. He then proceeds to slowly apply pressure with his palm on your sore muscles. His large hands manage to relax your muscles in a way that makes it feel like he's all over your back all at once. You're quite tense. Of course I am. I haven't been touched quite like this before. He certainly seems to know what he's doing. Yeah. You're quite good for your information. He smiles. Well, it sounds like I'm doing it right. His hands move up your shoulders and slowly start making their way down your back, loosening your muscles along their path. How's this? He's found the spot on your back with the most tension, and the result is instant relief. Feeling a little lightheaded. Oh, it's good, thanks. Well, I'm not quite done yet.
He pats you on the shoulder as he leans in and kisses the side of your face.
Well, looks like you needed that.
I did, thank you.
Well, my pleasure.
As he lies back in his chair, you lean back and close your eyes. You feel safe and calm, and it's just a soft breeze. A while later, he stirs you awake from an unexpected nap. The two of you then make your way towards the terminal where you join the others. Seems that the vacation day is almost over. They're mostly discussing other setups for the AR. The rest of the day passes quickly, and you make your way back to the regular part of the Firefly to settle down. As is now habit, you find yourself dozing off into your own cabin before long. The following days pass swiftly. Things speed up and everyone's usually busy working with a shortened time schedule. You barely see John. He seems to be working late nights and early mornings. Eventually the news is given that he'll be reaching Arctos in just a couple of days. That gets you thinking. You haven't organised that party yet. If you don't speed up the schedule, it won't happen. In short, today is going to have to be the day. As your day starts, you decide it's time. You finish up your breakfast and find Max in the canteen. As you approach him, he looks at you. It's time. Ha, yes, it's today or never, really. I get word out to everyone. You talk to Frank and get the observation deck set up. We can start it right after dinner. You got this all planned out. Oh, thanks, Max. You're a lifesaver. I'm looking forward to this as much as you. Well, no, more. I'll put on the aura and make sure everyone understands the assignment. Thanks, I'll see you there. Max salutes as you leave. Theatrical. Now to find Frank. I guess I could try the elevator, like Max showed me way back on the first day here. You call the elevator from the closest point, and as you enter, you speak it out. To Frank. Just surprised it works as intended. The elevator brings you to a corridor on another part of the Firefly. As you exit the elevator, there he is.
Human, what do you want?
Hi, I was looking for you to talk about that party.
The drinks?
Yep, about to start preparing the observation deck. Is there anything I should know before I start?
Oh, I already stashed the spare tables and stuff up there for you. To the left after you enter. The closest pillar's bottom segment is removable. It's all in the space there, near the pillows and stuff.
Huh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Well, you can reward me with booze later.
I'll do my best.
Good. It feels like it's been years without a good drink. Unbearable.
He walks off with a grin on his face. Very unlike him. With that sorted, you make your way to the observation deck. Just as Frank said, there's tables and chairs stashed there. There's also some pillows and blankets. You start setting things up, and before long you're quite happy with the setup. Now, how about the drinks? Good morning. I was wondering about the party I've been planning. Going to have it tonight. Are you still able to help with drinks? Hello there, how nice to hear. I'll bring them along when I show up. What time is it? Thanks, just after dinner. I'll be there. Well, that's all done. Not much to do, but wait now. It won't be as fun as I want it to be. Then again, I don't think anyone expects anything crazy. Just some drinks and some company. Guess we'll have to see. It's not like someone I don't know will be there. I know them all pretty well by now. The day moves slowly, and you find yourself thinking away to the evening. Eventually it arrives. You make it down to the canteen just in time for dinner. It's lively and just about everyone is there. Seems like Max really spread the word. You barely have time to finish dinner before people start cleaning up. Everyone's excited. As you finish up, Max all but drags you to the observation deck. As you enter the room, you can't help but feel a little happy. The room is lively, and everyone seems to have shown up. Someone even brought some balloons. Seems like everyone fell into things on their own, really. I was worried for nothing.
Old habits die hard. You've been doing way better with that recently.
Aside, it's time to enjoy this a little myself.
As you walk deeper into the room, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Ah, the party maker himself, the real guest of honour.
Guest of honour at the party I decided to hold?
The guest of honour on the Firefly, then. Now, I promised you drinks.
He holds up 2 heavy bags.
Raspberry juice and a vodka blend. It's as close to a properly mixed drink as you'll get in space. You're not supposed to drink on spaceships and all that. That makes a lot of sense. Hope I'm not getting any of you in trouble.
He chuckles.
You're all good. We got the captain's permission after all. Besides, nothing will go wrong. We've got Sean on duty. I have to remember to thank him. I should. Now, where's the tables?
Bruce walks past you into the room and starts unpacking the bottles from the bags. He offers you one as he finishes up and you take it.
So, how is it?
You take a sip. Like the fire wine you had on Earth, it's very smooth.
It's good.
A little scary. I can't even taste the alcohol.
Oh, good stuff. I managed pretty well then.
With that, he grabs a bottle for himself and takes a large swig.
Ah, that hits the spot. I think this might just be the first time I've drunk on a spaceship.
With an alien, nonetheless.
A nice alien, to be specific. Did you used to drink a lot back home, on Earth?
Not a lot, but some. More so after I made new friends. Not the healthiest of habits, but small home parties are good for making friends.
You should try some of the bars in Core at some point. They all have their unique atmosphere and flavour. I remember going to a pirate one, a sci-fi one, a music-based one.
Which one's your favourite?
Much I should tell you that. You don't get any funny ideas about me.
Doesn't that make it more so? He laughs at that. As the two of you talk, people gather around and grab their drinks. Everyone seems to have pitched in some way. Bruce with the drinks, Frank with the furniture, John even brought a guitar. Doesn't take long for everyone to break into groups, chatter and laughter echoing through the room. You enter the table with Bruce, Geralt and John. As you sit down, Mike shows up as well. He takes a seat next to you. John starts playing the guitar and humming the start of a song you don't recognise. Seems about evenings with friends, gathered around the campfire. It's about family, chosen family to be exact. As the song continues, his steady voice keeps focus. It's entrancing almost. It's as if you can dream away.
Well, the alcohol sure helps with that.
In a moment you could swear that you're back on Earth, gathered outside having the same kind of party. Just more free?
You're doing all right, Axel?
You spot a cup in his hand. It sticks out compared to the bottles everyone else is holding. Is he drinking coffee? I guess he is the one in charge after all. Well, I'm alright. I just spaced out for a second.
Oh, what are you thinking of?
John singing the guitar and everyone gathered around it like this reminded me of how it'd feel at a campfire. Just cosy and familiar, I guess. But just a little less free.
Space does that. We'll be landing on Arctos soon, you'll feel less cramped.
Soon?
Oh, in just a couple of days.
He sighs, still smiling.
And now we'll be busy again. The crew will have to split up for a bit. People have places to go and things they need doing.
I guess I should say my goodbyes in case there are people I won't be able to see before I go back to Earth.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure they'll all make sure to be there before you go home. We'll be the ones taking you back home as well, after all.
Really? Well, that's comforting already.
Of course. We got you for the entire journey. As for Arctos, there's just so much to do and we need to maximise our resources and time. I'll be staying with you the entire time, though.
We're going to Core, right?
Yup, the capital.
Do you know where in Core we'll be staying? Like a hotel?
wonder if that'd be weird, since I'm human.
Oh, don't worry. They're close enough to some primates to pass. People won't be looking twice. Unless information gets out somehow. But information on you is top secret. Only the crew and the council know about you. So if you want to, you can stay at a hotel. But if you prefer something calmer, while I technically live in Frosthearth, I have an apartment in Core. You're welcome to stay with me.
I think that sounds calmer and safer.
I can also come stay with you at a hotel if you want me to.
You can pick. I'll be fine either way.
We'll set you up the spare room in my apartment then. There's a biometric code, you won't have to worry about a key. It'll be calmer for when you want to go out and do stuff and whatnot.
You hadn't expected to be able to walk around freely on Arctos, but it sounds like you have the chance if you so desire. We'll do that then.
I'll do my best to be a good host.
Geralt turns over the two of you.
So, kid. Axel?
Geralt already seems to be slurring a little. I guess he can't handle his alcohol that well.
What's Earth feel like? You know, compared to a dying world.
I'm not sure if Earth feels more alive or how to put it. When I've never been to Arctos, I can't really compare. But Earth has a lot of different places. That includes less fortunate countries. So relative to who you are and where you are, of course. Some places and times, it's felt like it wouldn't be that bad for the world to end. Other times, it's felt there's no luckier thing than being there.
Seems to be just the same as Arctos then, huh? Arctos is much smaller. We only have different countries. It's more about what city you come from. There are different climates, of course, but society and politics is different due to the World Council system.
How do you think that works compared to Earth's different countries?
Worse, I reckon. I'm torn. I think we're more united, but such a system probably wouldn't work on a larger planet. At the same time, the struggle for politics becomes much more important. Decision makers have that much more power. So less freedom.
I think it depends on where on Earth you're from and how different Arctos is to that then.
I need to see more countries on Earth. Well, some luck, maybe you can in the future.
Speaking of, what do you think of that, Axel? You looking forward to seeing any place on Arctos you heard of? Well, I'd like to see them all, but for a specific one, I think Core is the one I've heard the most about. Everyone seems to like it for different reasons.
Well, good thing that's where you're going, huh?
How was it landing on a new planet for you, Mike?
It was different. We went in more silent until we could confirm our contacts. First 3 days was essentially hiding out in the shuttle, scouting out the area and making sure things were safe.
That sounds stressful. I thought you more or less made contact before landing.
Well, we did. But due to different governments, we had to make sure we'd land in the country of the government we'd communicated with. Or at the very least, a non-hostile one.
It seems you must be making a face as you heard that.
It was much nicer than it sounds. We're fairly sure already, but just some final steps. After that, there's a lot of diplomatic meetings. Far too many, if you ask me. But Earth was being as careful as they could, and should have been. About 2 weeks after landing, we'd struck a deal and got the go-ahead to continue our mission. We still owe Earth a lot. The tech we gave your country made up for most of the deal. After that, we spent another month learning about your planet and fitting in. It felt like a much longer time, as each day was full of learning and important decisions. I wouldn't worry if I was you, Axel. Arctos already has a deal with you, the contract you signed earlier. And most of your knowledge about Earth is flatly transferable to Arctos. You have friends in us as well. Bruce nudges Gerald. Of course. We'll take care of you, lad.
Thanks. I'm nervous, but not all that worried, to be honest. It's exciting, scary, and interesting all at once. I'm happy I won't have to go through what you had to when coming to Earth.
That earns you a chuckle for the entire group. You're far too important for that, if you weren't aware.
That surprises you, even though it probably shouldn't. They've been telling you that for some time now, but it just never seems to settle in.
You ponder what to respond. Your body seems to answer for you. I'll be back in a bit. Gotta use the restroom. With that, you excuse yourself and leave the observation deck, heading down to the nearest restroom. As you finish up your business and exit the restroom, you spot Frank waiting outside. Hey, it's the man himself. He's slurring his words. A summer party, sort of. A ship been needed for years. I'm glad you're having fun. Honestly, I was a little unsure if it turned out all right, so I'm glad it did. Oh, it's a slammer. The bathroom ready? As he steps forward to you, you see that he's spilled something on his shirt already, and his pants are unzipped. Oh, yeah, go ahead. He stumbles past you, catching himself on the door. I need any help? I'm just drunk. That's great. If you say so, just be careful, yeah? He grumbles an answer and enters the bathroom. Hope he'll be all right. That's still too soon to be that drunk. Not my business. I'm not quite sure it's super safe on a spaceship. Maybe we should send Sean a message so he can check in on him just in case. You decide to send Sean a message to check in with him, just in case. He responds right away and tells you he'll check in on Frank in a little bit. With that sorted, you make your way back up the observation deck. As you enter the large room, it seems people are mostly split amid new groups, talking about different things, and the overall mood seems cheerful. Someone, probably Max, has even started some music. You recognise the current pop song that's everywhere in social media shorts right now. Take a look around, but can't find the group you were with before. Instead, you walk up to one of the windows and take a seat, looking out into the stars for a little bit. I haven't spent so much time up here ever since the chaos with Rex happened. I hope Rex is all right. You let out a deep sigh. It just does make you think about these kind of things, looking out the endless sea of stars. Maybe that's a me thing? Then again, Mike is the same, he said. Rex, too. As if on cue, Mike speaks from behind you. Oh, trying to catch another star? Or did the stars catch you? The latter, I think. You was hoping to beat them. You just have to try again. You turn back to the window. Just thinking that watching the stars from up here makes me think about the more difficult things I've been through. Melancholic, if you will. It's almost addictive. I get the feeling it's not good for me to be like that for too long. I agree. It's good from time to time, but if you get stuck, it'll do you more harm than good. Can I sit with you and look at them for a bit? If that's what you want, I don't mind your company. He takes a seat next to you. What were you thinking of? Rex at first. Then I swapped over to just thinking about how the stars make me look back at things in life. Well, more difficult things in my past. Your childhood, I take it. He's being direct. When you don't answer, he continues. Well, it's something I've picked up on. You'll share tidbits and pieces of it in yourself. And everything detailed. None of the parts that explain why you are as you are. No broad strokes, so to say. I can't help but wonder why that is. Yeah, it's like my childhood. Are there things you can't share, or would you just rather not? I can see it in your eyes, you know. The pain. I want to ask about your family, but it'll hurt, and I know it. It's like you have a band-aid on your heart, and when I ask, now that is, it'll start bleeding again. He's poetical as always, even asking if you can know your dark secrets. Well, I don't know your story, but you do have a story, and... He pauses. I want to know your story. You didn't just get on a spaceship to another planet for the hell of it. How can you be so certain? I know you by now, at least a little bit. I know that you're good. I just want to know the reason. The real reason.
He's usually not pushy like this. If I didn't know better, I think he's been drinking.
You got a story there. One you've lived that now has led you here. I want to know who you are. And to become someone who really knows you. You know, for who you are. For who you really are. Someone who knows your struggles and your wants and understands you. I have to know. So, fighter, will you tell me your story?
Fighter?
Well, you definitely keep fighting on.
We'll have to see if it sticks. I have my doubts. I'll tell you. But first, he's asking you a big question, so it's only fair if he shares a little first, isn't it? That's not how it works.
But it does make things easier. More fair.
Tell me, why are you so upset when he decided to accept the endless white? Rather, why were you so upset that I did it?
Well, I'm not upset you did it. I was sad because I felt that you risked it because of me. I've experienced a lot of loss in my life. Oh, far too much loss. I promised myself not to lose anyone else. Especially you.
That's a little presumptuous and selfish.
It is.
About sharing things about myself, even to my close friends. It's something I find incredibly difficult. I can try to share my thoughts, but it's going to be scattered and unsorted. And it can be a little dark.
You sound like you're apologising. I'd appreciate if you told me regardless. Even the dark parts. I'd appreciate if you told me what you can and what you want. If you don't want to, I'll understand, I promise.
I just feel like my story isn't what it was supposed to be. Like fiction written by an amateur in the completely wrong genre. A fancy writer writing sci-fi, only to turn into something philosophical because they can't handle it. Add in a dash of erotica just to keep people reading. Just never was where it's supposed to be, you know. No, learning some things as a child means no standard route through life. No next step, no go to school, next perhaps find someone to love, learn how to drive, now get a house. When you're too busy making it through today, lose out on the chance to plan for tomorrow. Been left without goals so long, I can't relate to that dream much anymore. Life that never was just wasn't meant for me, I guess. You feel the sigh throughout your body, like your entire being is tensing up so you're about to revisit memories long left behind. Mike, however, is listening attentively to your story. You ask about me. I want to tell you about my past. Why I'm me. At the same time, I find it difficult to talk about my past. Truly difficult. That's why I'll never feel like I'm fitting in. You paused, letting some tension out with another sigh. I said I would, so first thing first. Easy to explain things. It's almost all bad things. Well, the important things are. I'm aware there's trauma. I'm aware I was abused as a child. There's a lot of things I don't remember. Repressed memories, I guess. Like Charles mentioned. Also a lot of things that aren't so repressed. The first time I thought about dying. Wanting to die. Wishing the pain would finally kill me. What makes it so difficult to talk about it specifically? Just relating to it, I guess. Or, well, being honest about it. It's close to how I think it feels weird to talk about having a bad day, like getting stuck in the rain or getting my bike stolen. Because it doesn't feel bad if they share or to complain about. It's just not worth it. It won't benefit me or anyone. He raises an eyebrow, seemingly disagreeing, but remains quiet as he listens. Whenever I hear someone complain about something in their life, my brain goes, well, that's not fun, but honestly it doesn't sound that bad. It's like I don't have compassion for small struggles, or big struggles. It's just hard to fully relate to them. It's not like I think their experiences weren't difficult for them or their life wasn't hard. It's like I don't think it doesn't suck they didn't get the time off they wanted. Their favourite food was sold out to the store. But honestly, to me, that usually sounds normal and good. Like I wish I had those struggles back then. It's fucking hard relating to it. When you think back and usually just go, well, chances were high I'd have crippled, dead or locked in a dark room somewhere. But I'm here instead. I kind of wish my biggest problem was my parents not letting me go out late at night. And it spirals. You pause, feeling your words catching in your throat. He puts his arm around you gently. His body is warm and you somehow feel support coming through. So you continue. The brain goes off in different ways. I mean, in mean, bad ways. I think it's not like they were locked in a dark room beaten till they couldn't walk anymore, again and again. Too young to quite understand why, just wondering what you did. It's not like they grew up in constant terror being abandoned in the woods, learning to sleep in the trees or hiding in the doghouse. It's not like they were punished for talking, or like they were punished for laughing at the wrong time. It's not like they were sexually abused until they decided to make themselves forget that they were. At the same time, it's not like I know fucking anything about them. Your voice is dry, angry almost, until you catch yourself and slow down again. Maybe they were. Maybe things were even worse for them than what I can imagine. Or maybe it was the same. But I still can't relate, because some of the things I hear them talk about now don't line up with my life. I wish I could, but it's so difficult. I know I'm wrong about it. Still, I try. Feels like I fake it most of the time. But yeah, maybe they had the same struggles. Maybe they're also afraid to interact with other people growing up, constantly thinking, knowing even, they were lesser than those who they're talking to. Like an empty void. Unsure of how to exist with others without struggling for their attention, as if it was precious gold. Every time I think about talking about it, I feel like an asshole.
You're not an asshole. I know that much. You ignore him and continue.
I can't relate and understand the suffering or good past others share when they talk about their past. Fact which I, from experience, know is true. Thinking like that makes me an asshole. Assuming a lot of things about others, it really is. It's like it's impossible to quantify. It also makes it so hard to relate and, I guess, learn how to share my past struggles. I guess everyone's normal is different. I think my old normal isn't what people think, regardless of what I'll say. I don't know how to do it the right way. Also, where I'll just seem like I'm suffering over it still, or like I'm exaggerating. Or worse, some lame attempt at making people feel bad for me. Like you won't see me in the same way.
Like you'd take off the mask, was it?
Your mind flashes back to a previous conversation where you'd used just those words. Seems like you remember that.
I still see you as you, and if that changes, it just means I'll know more of you. I promise I'll still like you the same.
You ignore him again and continue. After all, he has asked to hear your story more than a few times now. For me, it's stuff that's over. Looking back, a lot of it was fucked up. Really fucked up. But there's also good memories. Like the one I told you about before, in the canteen where I wanted to catch a star. Still mostly I feel like my past is just stuff that happened to me or around me. But it's not what's happening now. And that's enough. Just like how screaming or being angry at dead people, or people who are too far gone to understand it, doesn't help anything. Not at all. Sometimes I wonder if I'm supposed to cry about it, let the tears flow and get it out. I know I could, if I let those gates open.
You should, if you want to. Feeling your feelings is important, if you have the space for it. If you wish, I'll make that space for you.
He speaks as if he could just hide the world away and only keep the parts that made you happy. Thanks. But yeah, about my past, or me. Saying it out loud or even writing specific things directly is incredibly difficult. I think the reason why makes me an asshole, which makes it even harder to accept and fix. So I avoid telling my friends specifics about my past. Instead, I listen, because at least I can do that. Besides, nowadays I've just kind of grown out of it. The things I remember, at least.
Does that bother you?
No, I think that all our memories are meant to be remembered.
His face saddens. You can see his eyes water slightly.
I haven't fully left the things I remember behind. I don't think I ever can. But I've grown taller than them. I'm normal now.
He frowns at your final words. Well, I think you told me plenty just now. I like listening to you. He corrects himself quickly. Not your suffering, but how you see things now. How you're beating struggles and how you're stronger for it. It takes a lot to do that. It gives me hope for you, and with you, all right? I know you know evil. I know that you're not it. You shouldn't feel like an asshole either. Sometimes you just can't relate. That's all right. Just like humans, the evil that hides within the hearts of Octonians is deeper and darker than anyone can imagine. I understand your struggle, and I think... He pauses, almost as if unsure if he should continue. I think, and this is going to sound hypocritical coming from me, that it's not always about relating or understanding. More just knowing. Knowing. Yep, just knowing. Knowing about struggles helps. I can't fix your past, and I can't heal the things you still carry with you. Your soul has to do that itself, over time. But knowing of it lets me understand why things are the way they are. Does it make sense? A little bit. There's a moment where silence falls and neither of you speak. It's one of those moments where you can't tell if it's awkward or not. Mike, however, seems content. As you notice his satisfied smile, his eyes glancing over the oars every so often before returning to the stars, your body relaxes. Hey, Mike. Thanks for listening to my rant. Well, thanks for telling me.
The gnawing feeling of having overshared, overstepped, and having made mistakes lands on you. As it always does. I'm sorry if I interrupt you by placing his hand on your shoulder.
Don't be, please. I asked you to tell me. I was aware you have a lot of heavy weights lingering in your mind. I'm sorry if I pushed something I shouldn't have. I don't regret it. Neither should you.
It's all right. Perhaps... You hesitate for a second, realizing it's something you shouldn't push for or ask. But the alcohol does its work, and you ask anyway, not thinking about consequences. Besides, he said knowing would help, didn't he? Even if you're about to ask something that'll dampen the mood, even more than you already dampened it. Sometimes you really just don't know when to shut up. This is one of those times. How about you tell me more about yourself?
You're very Octonian, you know that. You're here, but your mind's always straying to the past. It's a very Octonian thing.
He pauses and takes a sip of his drink. An alcoholic one this time, you notice. I guess he just started with some coffee.
More about me, is it?
There has been a few experiences that really formed you, made you who you are now.
There are. Like when I told you about Erbod.
I told you about my, fucked up past. I'm sure your childhood had kind of been easy either. It's one of those things you can just feel when you meet someone similar. Just feel how some people are made out of the same stardust, sometimes.
Your own words surprise you. You usually think a little more when it comes to things like this.
Did I mess up? Maybe I should apologise and ask him not to say anything. Tell him about your probably fucked up childhood isn't a normal thing to say.
He opened the door.
Don't worry.
Mike hums if thinking about what to tell you about. Eventually settles with a serious look in his face. I've shared all of your past and quite the traumatic parts of it. I'd worry about getting you down, but you seem steadfast enough. Like I said earlier, I think just knowing helps. So I'll tell you. About my childhood. As you guessed, there's both heavier and lighter parts there. I'll tell you about the heaviest.
He pauses, steeling himself.
I'll tell you about the loneliest day of my life. For you, I'm sure it'll help you understand, relate, or just...
His serious look softens as he looks at you.
For you, specifically you, it'll help you know about me and why I do what I do. I think I mentioned it earlier. I was adopted as a young child. I lost my parents at age 5. The day I lost my mother was the loneliest day of my life. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
He looks out to the stars as if searching for something, his eyes distant.
When I was 4, my father passed away in an accident. It was nobody's fault.
He sighs softly.
Things changed then, of course. Before my father died, it felt like an ideal family. I had that perfect childhood you spoke of, the dreams of the future, and a path that would keep me happy and supported along the way. But once he died, things got difficult. Still, my mother was my hero. She made everything happen and she kept me safe and happy. Maybe even happier than I had the right to be back then.
You're about to say something about how every child has the right to be happy, but you stop yourself. This is his story and his opinions after all.
But she was suffering, all on her own, in return. Looking back, it's obvious to me as an adult. We didn't suffer together, so of course she felt lonely. Even if that's what she wanted. I don't think it's what either of us needed. Still, I was far too young to understand it back then. I didn't notice her tears or realize her feelings. Because to me, she's almost a divine protector, mother. She did everything to help me process my father's death, but nobody helped her. I think, to her, I was the only piece of him she had left. For example, she'd take me out to the woods on some clear nights, this amazing spot. Then we'd wrap ourselves up in blankets to stay warm, look at the skies until I fell asleep. Looking at the stars, and wait for a shooting star. She said that each one of those shooting stars was my father, from beyond. That he was just there to say hi to us, and see how we're doing, even for just a moment. I didn't understand back then that it was her wish and her feelings more so than mine. It all came to an end, exactly 1 year after my father's death.
He pauses and you notice a tear in his eye. He wipes it and looks at you with a soft, sad expression.
She took me to his grave. We brought flowers and talked about our year, telling him all about it.
He takes a deep breath, holding it for a little bit before letting it out.
When we were finished, she told me to go wait by the car. She told me she had things she needed to tell him in private. I remember taking on a coat, not wanting to go. She just smiled. There was something in the smile. I remember that much.
He takes another deep breath.
Even then, I realized something was off. I just wish I was more perceptive. She handed me a letter, told me it was for me, but only when I was older. And then she told me to go wait by the car. Sternly this time. So I did. His eyes water up, as if threatening to expose hidden tears. You don't have to continue if it's rough. He straightens up and smiles, a sad smile at you before continuing. Well, it's good to talk about it. Also, I like you. I think you should know. Besides, I'm already enough of a hypocrite as is. Not tell you about myself after asking me to tell you your story to make me something worse than a hypocrite. He pauses again, readying himself. The coming words are said slowly, with pauses between each of the sentences. To continue, I went and waited by the car. I regret being so obedient back then. If I'd refused waiting by the car, or opened the letter right then, I might have understood her. He sighs, composing himself and continuing in a more steady tone. If I knew what I knew now, as I look back. I waited for, I think it was about an hour by the car before I went looking for her. I never found her, so I went back to the car. 4 hours later, a police car showed up. They had brought my aunt and uncle, I remember. I remember being happy for the blanket they wrapped around me. Thinking of it now, it feels like that was when my loss started. My past falling away piece by piece. And more than that, I remember feeling so incredibly lonely when the police officer did his best to explain that my mother wouldn't be coming to get me. That's why I am a little like I am. If you were to ask me why I fight and why I care so much, he looks you in the eyes, he speaks now. Well, there are many more reasons than things that's happened in my life. That's probably the first reason. I want to fight for that little boy who's learning what loss is. Nowadays, I know what loss is far too well. I never want to experience loss like that again. That's why we're here. His face relaxes and his eyes return to their usual happiness. And finally break that cycle of loss. Not just for me and you, for all of Arctos. We're so close to winning. With you, closer than anyone could have hoped just a few months back. So rest assured, I'll try to keep you safe on our mission and beyond. I owe you and myself that. Because to me, you're hope. You don't get tired of it all. Even the weary can fight, and the newly woken sun may rest when need reaches the end of the world. Poetical, he's his usual self. Seems like talking about it didn't get him too down. Besides, part of what makes life worth living is doing your best to see the light in a cold and lonely world. To catch those fleeting moments as they flutter by, and drink in the feelings. He raises his glass in a small toast and chuckles while taking a sip. To say, staying alive is easy. Living is difficult. It's all sentimental crap, as some would put it. There's something very distinctly me about that sentimental crap. You follow that? After we save Arctos, I promise I'll do my best for you to be happy. Show you that the good you carry is real. Actually, I won't make you just happy. I'll show you how it is to be free to make mistakes. Enjoy them as much as the good times. He's definitely not afraid of being corny.
I kind of like that. You should tell him. I like that. He looks at you, a twinkle in his eyes. We both know the loss of a potential future far too well. That's why I'd like to think I can relate to you. Also know that I can't fill in that hole you feel you have. But your future struggles, I'll talk with you about them. We'll figure out if we can figure it out. Then we'll figure it out. And then, for your grey world, I'll give you some of my colour, Axel. I can't promise exactly what the future will hold. Whenever I can, I'll give you some colour. Like the Arctonian sky, like the stars passing by outside, twinkling full of different possibilities and futures. We all have our demons. You shared some of mine, and trust me, they're dark and ultimately evil actions. I help destroy a world, among other things. But I don't know. I don't feel evil. Even if I had my reasons why, and my arguments about morality and the ethics of it could go on forever. What I'm trying to say is, your demons, I'm okay with them, if they were to show themselves, if you stop hiding them. From what I've heard, you don't even seem so worried by mine. Thanks for telling me your story, Mike. You're welcome, Axel. You can't help but think of his story and of how loss is difficult. You've also lost people, but in different ways. Like your sisters. You can't help but feel bad about that one after having heard his story. You grab your navigator and send a message to one of your sisters, the one who lives the closest to you back on Earth. You notice Mike looking over to you, curious about what you're doing. I'm sending a text message to one of my sisters. Your story made me think a little bit about what I have, despite it all. I don't think I've heard much about your sisters. Due to obvious, aforementioned reasons. Well, I don't have much contact with them. When I texted now, she lives in the same town as I do. We haven't met since I was 4 or 5. She's much older, so she moved away as the chaos of my parents' divorce was at its peak. There's another one I can't remember much about, except a vague memory when I was 3. Been later told she babysat me that one time to hide me from one of my parents in a messy divorce. My father beat everyone, I'm told. You're surprised by how easy the words come out now, when he shared his own struggles. Maybe a little too easily. Still, you continue. I only just remember the terror more than the violence, really. My mother was psychologically abusive, but she really tried, despite her problems. That's the world she knew and that she grew up in, just transferred over to me and my sisters. Back then, most everyone was just trying to fend for themselves and make their way through it. Of course, my sisters were closer to each other than sisters are, I guess, so I felt a little left out. My other sisters, the ones I grew up with, the ones closer to me in age, I mean. Well, we lost contact for a long time. We have some contact now. It's much better as adults. You finally realise you've reached a point at which he knows enough, if not too much. But, that's enough sad talk, I think. Just enough, really. I feel much closer to you, and part of the pieces have fallen into place in my head. He looks around the room and you follow his eyes. Well, it seems like the party has died down. We're the last ones left. Were we talking for that long? He checks the time on his watch. Seems like it. It's not too late. They know just been a little too responsible with their duties. There's still some time to unwind a little. You want to spend some time with me, without talking about reflections of the past. What do you want to talk about? I'm curious about what you want to do on Arctos. Aside from saving it. He chuckles. After saving it, I mean. Then you want as a reward? A mansion, perhaps? I don't think I want a reward. Also, that would mean staying on Arctos, wouldn't it? Well, that's true. I'd be able to if you want to. I think that's a problem with the future, Axel. I'll keep it simpler then. Is there anything you'd really like to see on Arctos? I'd be curious to see what life is like there. Like how an Arctonian home looks. I'll show you mine. It's not too interesting, though. Just like curiosity, but it'll be fun. See what kind of books you have, for example. What things you keep for hobbies and how that might differ from Earth.
Hobbies on Arctos? It's much like Earth. My books will be mostly fiction. Lots of fantasy and sci-fi, but also some murder mysteries and such.
Any favourites?
I'm a big fan of soft science fiction. I mean, it's very surreal and uses ideas and concepts that aren't so grounded in reality. I think the best fiction is written by people whose minds are free enough not to be shackled by limitations such as physics or concepts. It opens up brand new ideas and ways of thinking that then might show something else. Like new colours or even senses, things that aren't easily explained by things we know because they're so different.
I like those kinds of stories too, but I haven't read too many good ones. I could try it on my part, I think.
I'll lend you a book or two on Arctos. I'm sure I have something you'll like.
What else do you do? For a hobby, I mean.
Well, there's the aiming of firearms, but you know that one already. Aside from that, the occasional attempt at poetry. Well, singing, I guess. I don't really do that on Firefly. There's also nothing in my home that shows it. I think the only thing that would surprise you would be the gear.
Gear?
Well, I used to be into hiking and being outdoors. If you look into my home in Frosthearth, you find tents, knives, and fishing rods and the like. You know I haven't done much of that for the last 10 years or so.
Are there better spots for that in Frosthearth than Core?
Depends on the nature you like. Frosthearth is more boreal forest and northern nature, of course. The core has its spots as well.
He let out a soft yawn.
I think that's a sign it's about time to head off to bed.
The two of you leave the observation deck together, walking up the part where he needs to split off to go to his own cabin. He gives you a kiss, looks like he's about to say good night, but changes his mind and instead looks at you with a glint in his eye.
I want to come to my cabin and see if there's a good book you can borrow. I'm sure I have something that'll tease your imagination a little.
With the way he's looking at you and the wink he's giving you, it's obvious that he means something more. I'm getting the hint there's something more to it.
I was wondering if you'd perhaps like to sleep in my bed tonight. It was good when I slept in yours. It felt nice.
I don't really understand why you even like me. You realised too late you said that flat out, instead of thinking it in your own head.
Well, I've seen who you are and I like it. You're someone I want to be close to. And you're just too damn cute.
Are you going with him? Of course. I could do with some cuddling, to be honest.
Lucky me. This way, handsome.
He leads you around the ship, and the two of you walk slowly, discussing potential differences between the literature of your respective planets. You enter his cabin and look around. Of course, it's much larger than the other cabins. That much was to be expected. What's more interesting to you, however, is how he set up his own little living space on the Firefly. It's much more set up than your cabin, with a bookshelf, a couch, some of his belongings properly unpacked. Makes sense he's more settled in than I. He spent much more time on the Firefly, going back and forth from Arctos like this. Aside from that, it seems fairly similar to your setup. The bed is the same size, and the shower seems identical, just with more of his things. There's a picture on a small table next to his bed. There's two bears. Might have been one of them, and what looks to be a polar bear, as well as two moose. I wonder if that's his family. Well, adoptive family. Mike walks up next to you and sees you looking at the picture.
Well, that's them. The family I grew up with. From left to right, that'll be my uncle, then that's my aunt, and finally my brother and me. I'm only related by blood to my uncle. They're all family to me.
I hadn't thought about how that would work for Octonians. Different species, I mean?
They work much like you think, I imagine. There's some hybridization, but generally bears marry bears and so on. For example, my biological father was a polar bear, my mother a brown bear.
Ah, that explains it.
Not too complicated for someone from Arctos. Reminds you it's a few steps away from the usual for Earth. Now, how about that cuddle?
You prepare for the evening without much talking, almost like the two of you just wanted to wind down at the same time. Before long, you find yourself in Mike's bed. He gets into bed next to you, pulling the cover over both of you. He puts his arm around you, as if just wanting to feel you close.
Feeling comfortable?
Right now, very much so. You know, I realize there's so much more I want to know about you still.
Well, that goes both ways. Is there anything on your mind that you'd like to know?
Well, like, what's your favourite colour?
Blue. It's always been. I don't have any specific reasoning for it. What about you?
I'm not sure, but I love grey things when I think about it. Does that count as a colour?
Well, I think it does. Anything else on your mind?
Well, what's your favourite food?
I don't think it exists on Earth. We call them little toppers. They're like tiny lasagna pyramids. It's quite casual food, but I loved them since I was a kid. Well, what's yours?
Probably pizza, to be honest.
The pizza in Broadtown was quite good. Is it as good in your hometown?
Better. Silence falls for a bit. Just as you're about to ask another question, you hear soft snoring. Seems like he's fallen asleep. It is quite late after all. You close your eyes and let out a soft sigh. As you lie there in Mike's bed, with his arms around you, your brain starts processing the early parts of the evening. Tonight was nice. The party was a success. Do you want to get so drunk he spills his secrets? Back on Earth, was it? I certainly did tonight. Some of them, at least. Drunk or not. In just a few more days till we're on Arctos, huh? As sleep catches you, find yourself once more in the land of dreams. This time that familiar feeling of a handsome stranger holding you closely. Even more, there's something else. A presence making itself known. You. Here you are. Entangled in so many ways. The endless white. We are. And now you are. I'm not the endless white. I won't destroy a world. Your world's existences have been part of us for a long time. Earth? Where's this coming from? I wasn't ready to talk to you now. During sleep, it is the easiest time to reach you. We have been on Earth before, in another timeline. You seem so much more eloquent now. We are adjusting to your mind, your way of thinking, your words. What does you having been on Earth have to do with anything? Earth was abandoned on purpose by the creators. Arctos was not. Earth was left alone as it was abandoned. Arctos was meant to develop or be destroyed. So Arctos was doomed from the start by some unknown creators? Yes, but the creators are no more. Therefore, their words don't matter. That's why you agreed to help Arctos, to stop, well, the other endless white, I guess. That, and your promise. Just like Arctos was meant to end, so were we. We are a storage for matter and sequences, for states of life. We absorb and we keep. Originally, for the creators to keep our data later. But with no creators, all our effort is now naught. It is suffering for no reason. Thus, we need to end. We have no mission we need to finish. Will it be difficult? For you and the Arctonians, yes. For you and the Endless White, no. It will listen, it will learn, and then it will agree. However, for the Arctonians who wish to control or subvert, they don't hear, they don't listen, they will challenge. That's not what I thought at all. I don't know if I think you're right on that one. Fighting the Endless White aside from you seems much more dangerous than talking to the Arctonians. It will be the other way around. Only one way to find out, isn't there? Good. You're confident. More than before. I guess. I still don't quite understand what you are. Who you are, I guess. It is of no consequence. I've been with you for a long time now, Axel. A version of me has been with you since before these distant worlds knew anything about each other. Narrating your life, responding to your thoughts. Unable to talk to you directly, but you have felt me, have you not?
The doubts, the fears, the unknown beyond, pushing on your mind. Thoughts that aren't your own, yet they mingle with yours as they opinionate on in your ideas. A visitor without purpose. Now, I've entangled with that part of myself, and you have entangled with me. Yes, now we are entangled. Truly, the other shard, you and I. And as my voice now shines through to you, you will realize who I am, part of you. I've never run you wrong before. I will not run you wrong in the future. No matter, now you are aware. What matters now is the end and getting you and us there. We have questions for you. What questions? We seek to ensure further intent. We trust the mission, but what are your other wishes? How do you feel about landing on Arctos? I didn't know better. I think you're wanting to just have a conversation with me. Repeating, how do you feel about landing on Arctos? There we go. I guess I'm nervous. It's a new world and it's going to be filled with not only brand new cool things but also dangers. The other end that's white. As you say, there might be Arctonians who want to fight. That is scary. I'm mostly hopeful. It's a brand new start. What about the bear? What do you think of him? That's very personal. I trust him and I like him. I can say that much. He means good, that much is obvious. Intent and wishes registered. I have a question for you. You said you've been with me for a long time. Does that mean since I was a child? The tone shifts and you can hear me clearly now. I have been with you in your thoughts for as long as you know. Plainly, yes. It's why you've heard us when the spectre hit. You already had me with you. That makes me angry. Why didn't you help me way back then, with all the struggles, or even more recently? It was not my job. I had no reason to. Now, I do. I wanted your mind to have back all those chances the circumstances stole. I know that's not how that works. Can't do much else with it and enjoy the future. It's weird knowing it's been something with me for all this time. Do you have questions about it? If I thought it'd help, I'd ask why growing up was so painful for me when it seemed so easy for so many others. Why did I have to suffer? But then again, perhaps it's not the world's fault, but rather my own perspective's fault. You already understand. Almost. Not your perspective, but rather the world's fault. Do not despair. The future still lies ahead of you. I've been with you for a long time, Axel. I know your past. I used to know your future. But now it is unclear. You are now in charge, and I cannot see your thoughts and paths. It launches questions. What do you have to live for, finally? Unlike us, you should have a friendlier goal. Think about it, now that you'll have the power to put a world at your feet. It's a terrifying thought. You said that your life wasn't the story you felt like it was written to be. What do you have that you want? What story will you write in the end? How will you end it all? What will be your story? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not good enough to choose anything. I'm just here by dumb luck. Dumb luck and being fucking gay. Noted. There's too much anxiety, too much worry during key moments. We will fix it. We will fix your thoughts. I don't want you messing with my head more than you are. During key moments, we will calm it. That is all. I don't need to change anything with my thoughts. Even if it would fix it all and make everything easy. It wouldn't be me, it would be you. Noted. But it cannot be escaped. Changing the past, the future and the present for you if need be. Why, you'd say you'll change everything. We are the eventually. We are the possibility. We are the singularity. We are the things that never happened and the things that could happen. We are what should have happened. We are what won't happen. We are everywhere and every when. We are the convergence of what will happen if you decided to. But we are not omnipotent. We are but an experiment, created by progenitors akin to gods, or with the boredom and ingenuity of humanoids. Yet our course remains the same, for it we can see, for it is entangled in the web of existence and time itself. Do you understand? You have taken a place amongst the deciders of possibilities, the actors of the play that is fate and time itself. Your future is no longer fickle chance and winds of change. It is now a choice. Will you now tear a path through this entangled web of strings of fate? Will you stitch a tapestry of your own making? You are now entangled with existence's fate. You are no longer predetermined, but you are still present and an actor. The paths entwine each other, entangle the possibilities. For you, we cannot see, but you we know. And now, you are entangled with existence's fate. Confusing me more than anything. Can't you speak plainly? That is the problem. Our thoughts are not like yours. We are trying to adjust. We all quote philosophy to attempt to relate. You have to listen now to the madness that is everything. With Arctos and with the endless white. With us. You have to sift through the cracks of reality and hear truths as well as half-truths. Realities come undone, and you need to pick which one to string into the weave of existence. We are trying to say, the final choice is yours. Figure out what you want to do with us, with Arctos, before then. That's it for now. Thanks for playing this update. Well, that solves my thumbnail issue and my title. I was deciding which way to go with that, and as we go at the end, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I hope you enjoyed this update of Distant Travels, and of course when we get more out, I'll be returning to the story. And I wasn't expecting to have to tweak my delivery there at the end with that conversation. So I hope I succeeded in doing that reasonably well. We'll see how it goes when everyone listens to it. But again, thank you for watching, and thanks to my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. As always, I often say thank you to my top patrons: Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Bieka, Brian Hall, Copus Visser, Dissonance, Exact, Grizz, Harvest Mouse Productions, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Omar, Spiderling, Smuto, Tiger Cub, Aram Tarasu, Alan Mayer, Greylock, Lark Huskerton, and Gracious Yevon. And thanks to all those names you see on the beginning of the videos, and special thanks in this one to Grunt Steel for doing this amazing VN. I really enjoyed this one. Until next week when we go back to something else. Bye for now.